just got them.
Oh, yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, so for vermontdairy.com, and I asked for April 2025 to April 2026. Okay, so this is a year. Got 7,300 views, number of times someone looked at the website, 5,900 sessions, number of times website was accessed at different times, dates, 1,800 multiple link clicks on website, number of times users access more than one page, 5,300 unique users that keep coming back to the page. And I can send this to you guys too.
I was gonna ask you if you could do that, couldn't write that
I
fast.
thought it was gonna be in the hundreds.
I need to let New England Dairy know that we're back, because they want to come back in the room for theirs. Okay, great. So the rest of the agenda for the day.
I think it was snowing.
Is it snowing?
It's close.
It looked kind of way out there. I was like, is it missing rain?
It's okay, it's still April.
I brought my coat.
And just you and I doing that, or is there anybody else?
Yeah, it's April 30th.
Okay. I can.
You're gonna have to put up with reading a lot of crap.
In Florida, and don't go anymore. I go to May.
You're the one that
Now I'm
complained too
going
much.
to May.
I have 2 nights a week when I'm.
Next week, I'm like, I'm looking at the weather. High.
I think you're both be good at it. Thank you for venting or
What?
cleaning out the
Shelf.
Yeah, we know how to shake up the chat.
All right, so just to follow up, I need one or two more. I Martha and Beth will work on the RFP. I need two more, or at least one more volunteer.
I'll go.
Okay, Mateo,
Great, thank you.
did I see anything about Matt?
No.
It's like, it's close.
It's like being at an auction and.
Yeah.
Most
And people want to sign
ever
up
gonna
now
have
for
is the ability to
pre-screens
say,
in the fall.
no.
Oh, yes.
People could.
Okay, yeah.
Pre-screen, you mean, would you send out an email for that or?
Yeah, so in the fall, if people were interested in sitting with all of the proposals with me and doing a pre-screen,
Oh, I see.
we send them all. The two pieces with that. I'll remind you in the fall.
So we're looking for two volunteers to pre-screen, and it's a couple hours.
I think it's pretty, yeah, well, sure, let's say a couple hours.
In person, right?
Or just on, like ahead of time.
In
Yeah.
person or online?
Let's say online.
You want two more in addition to the four that you already got?
No,
We already got 3.
It's a different
the four are gonna do what we're looking for.
RSP.
And then the second one is gonna be, they're gonna look at,
Once the
proposals.
proposals come in, just to say like, this is the group that would go to the whole person interview.
so
I can help, I'll try.
All right.
Right, need one more.
Let me see how the first one goes.
All right, you're retired, so that's good.
I can look.
Okay, great, Matt too, so put Martha.
Matt.
Matt?
Brian.
No.
Brian.
Okay. And Eugene,
Okay,
got it.
all right.
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
Next time we meet, we should have someone review the purpose of the council.
Okay.
I think we always have new members, and maybe us old guys don't even know what's going on. But we are creating something new here, so I think we need to review that. I don't know if that should be Anson's job or,
This your first?
First meeting
yeah,
as alternate.
Kylie, first time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can do that.
We had one American Cheese Society president used to open every meeting with a mission, reading of the mission statement. Just to get us,
I recall going to Jenny Carla at break one time and saying, so how does this money flow and where's it go? Where are we going? Yeah, I think it's lost.
We'll do that. Okay, so I think we're on next steps, is that right?
Yeah, unless there's anything else around committee work that needs to have a conversation around it.
I think Jeremy brought it up a few minutes ago. Put down something of
yeah,
what our mission of kind of.
well,
Which-
we Yeah,
Our committee,
A year ago,
our
we
committees
were gonna-
really didn't work out because we didn't get attendance and. Anyway, so,
yeah, it's hard. So how are we gonna deal with that? I mean,
well,
what
I
are
think we
gonna
could do, I think we should do it as a group. And then, so maybe we should have a mission statement. So this is dairy money. So what do we want to do with it? This is just an idea, guys. It should increase sales of dairy products. And it should increase dairy knowledge for the young people, community, and lawmakers, something like that. So that we're talking a little bit about, well, we gotta have more dairy sales, but we also gotta educate, we gotta do some educating. We tried with the UVM one to get young people involved. I talked about last meeting, I said, we gotta have young people that wanna be working in the agency of ag, they gotta know a little bit about ag before they just jump in, you know, and so that's part of our job with our dairy dollars, is probably to help educate those individuals. So those were my 2 lines that I thought fit the bill.
What was it again?
Well, I was thinking like dairy money equals increased sales of dairy products. That's the main thing. And then we do also try to increase with what we do in dairy and how we try to do nutrition. We're increasing dairy knowledge to the young people and our communities. And I like to focus on lawmakers, to know who dairy people are and who they're, when they do create a bill, what it does to their dairymen in the state.
How do we not become lobbyists?
Because we send out messages, I don't know, that's a good
You
question.
can educate the legislature, you just can't lobby.
Yeah.
We can't use.
Support a specific initiative in the legislature.
Exactly, that's why I said you have to be really careful.
May,
Neutrality.
you could do something like public policy. And the other one I think we've talked about in the past, and I think maybe achieved it a little bit in some of the videos that have been produced, is the environment part of it. I think that's a role that we can do. That's the education part of it, because it's all connected with it. So I would just offer maybe add somewhere the word environment and public policy, and I think maybe switch out lawmakers for public policy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking if we had a fairly short mission statement and then we just kind of stay focused. That's what we do with this money.
So you want us to, we've got a shell of that, right?
I did write it down.
It wrote it down, we can finesse it and circulate it, and if that works.
Did anybody get to read the Bulwark article I sent about branding? California milk gets 7% premium for their like real milk, real California milk, or
That was at the end of a long
that was,
article.
that was at the end of the article.
Pretty damn good.
Well, they've got millions of people, so.
Yes,
And that's what we're up against here. We just don't,
no, but
you know?
it's really, yes, there's a market. We have a market. What builds and holds the value is the identity of the milk and of us. Like, look, we are at this point 432 farmers in the state, right? And connected to those farmers are these incredible stories with all the values, the environment, you know, like all the education stuff. And yet, over the past, I'm gonna say it again, 20 years, we've spent almost $50 million. And consumers don't have an identity. We have a website that gets, 1,800 visitors or whatever. But to your point, like building like a super consciousness and some value and a vehicle to hold all the values, the stories of all the people, that increase sales, but also increase like the value of the milk that's going into our market, which is regional, right? I think there was some confusion the last time I spoke about this, that it meant building like a processing facility. No, that's not it. Like that real California milk campaign. And, you know, it's supported by, California farmers. And, you know, they had like the earthquake cow, happy cow thing, right? That marketing campaign delivers a 7% premium above milk that isn't marketed with that real California, like,
Where does that money come from?
farmers. It's checkoff dollars. Right? These are checkoff dollars. And so I'm just going to say it once again, like in 20 years, after we spend the next like nearly $50 million, what are we going to end up with? Are we going to end up with an identity that is coherent, that encapsulates 100% of what is happening in the dairy industry in the state of Vermont? Whether you're milking 1,700 cows or 50, you know, the identity and the power of the Vermont brand, I do not believe that we have leveraged it in our marketplace. And so that's going to be good for cheesemakers. It's going to be good for like members of the co-ops here, because it has the potential to increase the value and ultimately the pay price for milk, right? And that'd be the goal.
Sales, we save dairy, increase dairy sales. It fits with that, but also maybe you mentioned in an email, how can we somehow get a better margin?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like a better margin for the every time it goes out.
Part of my problem is like California and Wisconsin have a lot of processing in their states.
Mhm.
Vermont does not. It's really hard to capitalize on brand when you don't have processing in your state. I mean, I would substantial milk.
Right, we're not gonna
out
run.
of state process. I appreciate it so much. You take
Take
care.
care, Kurt.
As well, I think it's food processor, the last commercial one closed.
Yeah. And Cabot's a pretty small player.
Big Middlebury.
Middlebury's pretty big.
Well, I mean, so could we, sorry.
Mateo, you said that California created this brand.
Yeah.
And they got a 7% return.
Yes,
That's where I want to know, where did that return come from?
from increased value from consumers. That's where it came from. Consumers buying like this California, real California milk brand that they've been paying more. So like ultimately the value of that milk at retail is commanding a higher price than like the non-branded milk, right? You know, I totally agree. I don't know what the solution is, right? But the value, and I think like the Agrimark board knows this and is like is shifting this way. It's like branded product is where the value is. That's where like we need to try and figure out how to package the idea of what we're doing here, milking cows, goats and sheep apparently in the state of Vermont, and turn that into like a higher value proposition that consumers will pay more for at retail. And that's a long-term like investment in building identity and doing the storytelling and being consistent over a long time to increase consciousness in consumers so that they associate all great milk as being something that comes from the great, you know, state of Vermont.
But, yeah, it's easy to take for granted what we have, but actually the Vermont brand just packs a punch. Like,
It
so
does.
much more powerful than our size.
Way outside our size, and so,
But
and we
can
haven't
I say,
leveraged
we
that.
can't do a Vermont branded milk. We don't have the capacity to do that and to charge more in the marketplace for people to buy that Vermont branded milk.
Not
When
at
they
this
go
time.
into the store, not at this time.
Not at
We
this
don't
time.
do that. And what's interesting, I agree with the sentiment that Vermont punches way above our weight. However, I was just spent the last 2 days at the Vermont Tourism Summit. And their research study says that we don't have the awareness, the brand awareness with the consumer that we think that we do. And that we are actually several states below other states. And the Vermont Department of Tourism has come up with a whole new strategy to try to help pull us up higher on that list. And it was really pretty stunning because I think that we do have a great brand image and they have statistics, metrics that they've done studies for the last 18 months proving that Vermont doesn't score as high in brand awareness in the tourism department as Maine, as New York, as other states.
So
So
we're very much sliding in the dairy world too, and I can see it in my own community and the way, the support and the level of acceptance that my neighbors, many of whom have moved into the area in the last like 10 years, they don't have the same kind of reverence for a dairy farmer or like that used to be there when we started milking cows, right? It's a different feeling. And it's why I really believe we need to like dive into this and go deep on building like an identity for Vermont dairy that holds our values and enables us to communicate a big story consistently over time to rebuild that like trust with our so it's like what is marketing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it, I've been trying to
So last
figure it out.
week, Bob was taking a tractor down the road and he was accosted for the first time, like, he was stunned,
Yeah.
absolutely stunned.
Someone
This person was very incredibly specifically rude.
One finger wave.
Yeah.
And Bob's like, he had.
Outside of Burlington.
Yeah.
I got it yesterday. I was spreading manure. Somebody tried to pass me and turned around.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Bob was stunned, yeah.
Every day.
Well, is there a way we could take, I mean, we can't wave a wand and change it, but could we create an RFP along these lines to do some work on the possibility of branding?
Well, I think what we have tried to fund this year was, the dairy farmer image.
Yeah.
I think we have put money into that. We haven't seen all of those pieces and projects come to fruition yet. I mean, there's a couple still out there that there's no product yet.
Yeah.
Zero results. So I think that we are trying to, and I think that what Anson talked about with the environment, we have tried to put really specific money from the dairy community into our image that we are environmental stewards. So I think we are trying to do that. We just have to.
But you gotta be
saying
careful.
it. You're in Colchester? Holy Toledo. I delivered bulls with Bob one time out in Mallett's Bay. It's crazy. And it
To
was-
Fitzgerald?
The
Is
farmers.
it Fitzgerald?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like the farmers get blamed for pollution of Lake Champlain. Like, did you see where people's houses are? Yeah, I'm sorry. So I think that our putting our real effort into the dairy image and into the images, we are environmental stewards. And I saw on the Champlain Valley Farmers Coalition newsletter yesterday that Kylie's got interns and apprenticeship programs. I mean, those kinds of things, what Kylie put up on the newsletter that I saw yesterday, that kind of stuff is really, really
And
important.
they're looking for funding.
Yeah. So I think we're trying to do it, Mateo.
What's the difference in using dairy checkoff dollars to promote like the farmer image, but yet we can't support somebody like the research that Woody Pankey used to do? I don't get the difference.
No, you can.
Yeah.
You can. It's just that the amount, I think it comes down to
Indirect, right?
the indirect and the money.
So
So
no, but I thought you were talking that,
What
that,
I said was, we were not allowed to do the pre-harvest
right,
money for mastitis.
right.
Things that affected the cow pre-harvest. We could only use USDA checkoff dollars for post-harvest to increase sales. But I think what we have done over the years is said that the making a positive farmer image does increase sales.
Okay,
Because it increases the trust and confidence in your farmer
you're building
being a
consumer
part of your
confidence.
community, and increases consumer confidence
I got it.
that your farmer is a valued part of your community, that they are environmental stewards, they are doing things right with cow care, the animal comfort, all of those things. That's okay because it's increasing consumer confidence, so it'll increase the sales that Eugene wants us to do. Okay. That, right?
I think the only thing that I'm trying to say is, because I totally agree with you, Beth. I do, I mean, 100%. Is a unifying identity for this group and this pot of money, okay? So that there's some continuity from year to year and decade to decade,
Right, so we have a succession plan.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
right.
And we have a website, right? But we haven't done anything with it, and it's not a platform that we use to tell our story.
Right.
Right, so we have so many pieces in place. They're all there. It's a unifying, like, a strategic approach over time in order to build like a coherent, long-term like identity for Vermont dairy producers. That's all. Because when I go to my neighbors, they have no idea like who we are and what we're doing and what we're working on. And we don't do a very good job of like,
They don't have a sign up.
there's some pretty humble people on this. It's not like we're out there like trumpeting, we're doing all this good stuff, nobody knows. I think that's my point, is that like both Wisconsin and California have organized and done that, and their equivalent groups have like a brand. And when I say brand, I don't mean a milk processing, bottling, or cheese making or anything like that. It's an identity that is communicated all over the place, and everybody in the state of California, Wisconsin, and the surrounding regions know about the work that's happening by farmers for farmers, right? And ultimately that increases the value of milk from those places. It's a long term, it's a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long game.
You're saying brand, yeah, don't get into branding specific products.
No.
We're talking about a label right now, but it's just the Vermont dairy farmer.
VermontDairy.com. What is that? You know what I mean?
But it's kind of what you were saying, Beth, about the tourist thing.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, oh, nobody knows about Vermont, but you thought everybody knew about Vermont. But when you go to the tourist conference, it's like, what's Vermont?
Yeah.
You're way behind.
Is that part of Quebec?
What?
No, they do.
Okay, so I think, next step, so we're gonna I think we're gonna circulate, the mission and work on that. That will be a next step. Anything on next steps?
So we're gonna disband the visioning committee, right? Sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, well,
What about governance? Is that also, do we have governance in place?
They didn't need either, and so I think we're all just work together.
We're just gonna go the way we're going right now.
Keep
And we
going.
have a chairman and we have Laura. So
Well,
really,
that's the point.
That's all you need in life. a chairman and the Lord.
That sounds like your second.
Yeah.
Right, well, we move into public comment. Any public comments?
Well, one of the next steps though was, she's developing the RFP
Yeah,
with, in conjunction with, what, 3 or 4 other people?
yeah, we got the committee.
And that's gonna get sent around eventually
To everybody for review.
to everybody for
Correct.
review.
And the goal will be, I would say June.
Yeah.
I'd like to have it out in the world
Yeah,
in midsummer. So we need to, stick to a timeline for sure.
so to me, is that the next step?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I ask, okay, we don't need a committee, but could we have a sheet or two of guidelines and rules for the committee with statements of understanding about how we operate? So we're all on the same page about that. And I know those must exist somewhere, or maybe they don't.
For the
Doesn't
council
have to
as
be
a whole.
complicated. Sorry?
For the council as a whole.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be complicated, but I mean, I think we gotta have some operating guidelines here.
We do have.
Yeah, I printed it off once, it's almost.
Fine. So we do have an overview document that was put together way back in 2020, which essentially just puts all of the legislative language together and then has like a function overview of what happens with the money. That doesn't sound exactly like what you're looking for,
Well-
Jeremy, but maybe it's a start.
I mean, if we could start with that, I'll read it over and see if think we need to add anything to it.
You would include on there the proportion of representatives from DFA and Agrimark and.
Yeah, that kind
Yeah, there's a whole,
So there's a whole thing on that.
yeah, the whole thing about
Yeah.
amount of milk produced and
Right.
membership and alternates. And
Right, because
members.
representation is based on the amount of milk produced.
Ah,
In case you
And
didn't know.
Evie did tell me before she had to go out on leave that that's one of her things that she's gonna be reviewing, is just to look at that proportion of production, because that hasn't happened for a few years.
Whatever happened to the members?
Yeah, Evie has been on leave for 5 months.
So who's doing her job?
She
We're
was
filling in the blanks with other people.
Is she feeling, was she sick or something?
Yeah, it was a matter, I think we could say medical
Yeah,
leave.
but she should be coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did see that DBIC funded, a economic impact of dairy. And
Yes.
It's like a regional New England.
It's New England study.
Did you all get to look at that?
It connects the dots. around
That
the
was
region.
interesting, but is the baseline data that for Vermont kind of
Breaks down, yeah, it
extract?
breaks down
Mhm.
employees, facilities, processing, where the milk comes and goes, right?
I can share all of that with you. I sent you the invitation to the webinar, and now the report's published. So this is what it looks like, and I can send that to you. I think it's really great. It's a really, really solid report. So this is the
You recorded the presentation too. The presentation was pretty good.
webinar is about 45 minutes long. The report is quite long, but if you click into it, it has, just gonna scroll really fast to get to, actually, I'll just put it up here. So it has state by state supply chain analysis, so you can see each state in the region economic impact. So for example, in Connecticut, you can see outbound dairy sales where their products are going. Maine, Mass, New Hampshire. So then we also did an analysis of value chain across 5 different products. And then there is a state by state analysis as well of jobs and revenue and different things. So it's a great report.
So Edie was gonna get those numbers for that 70% of Vermont milk. goes into cheese.
All right.
And so are you thinking maybe we could get that by,
Yeah, I think, part of the challenge, if I remember Evie telling me, she has to do that manually, right?
It is by truckload of milk.
Yeah. And the part of the issue is we've got to protect some of that information, right?
It's all proprietary data.
So, meaning we can
you can
aggregate.
aggregate it?
Yeah,
Right.
can't. So it's manually, she has to do it, is to protect all that. That's why it's taking so long.
Right, so what I'm thinking is, so this is,
And we may, who knows, this data may be in this report. It could be there. I don't know. It could be.
I think that's what I was trying to ask.
Yeah, there is.
Is it embedded in?
Yeah.
I can share this page as an example of,
because I think the confusion was whether the numbers we were given to get that were taking into account loads that went direct from the farm, maybe into West Springfield, and
I think it must be excluding all of the milk that leaves the state. I
well,
don't think there's
right, it
any
just
other
doesn't
way.
seem,
It's
it's not mathematically possible.
It's not mathematically possible. If you know what our percentages are for it's just,
Unless there's another cheese maker in the state that's as big as Agrimark.
Or-
Or bigger, I
or
don't.
wait.
Or they're counting loads that are going to Great Lakes as being part of that number. Or something like that.
I don't know, it didn't make sense.
Well, here's some data. I don't
this is the overview of Vermont for products.
But that doesn't say,
I mean, if that's what's processed in the state.
is that processed in the state or is that produced and processed somewhere?
This is what is processed in the state. You can see this is the economic impact by category, so product manufacturing versus cattle milk production, sheep and goat milk production. So these top 4 bars.
And the question you wanted answered was, the question was how much money was milk moving out of Vermont, or how much was
Is it
converted?
70%?
No, we keep seeing this fact thrown out there that 70% of the milk produced in Vermont is made into cheese, which is like, this doesn't seem realistic. And so we questioned that at our meeting, I believe it was the meeting a year ago. And Evie said, well, she would get those numbers together because when people said, well, what about the milk that goes from the farm direct to West Springfield? Is that included? I don't know, nobody knew. What about the milk that is just, that goes just outside of Vermont? Is that included in? Nobody knew. So it was just trying to clarify where that number came from, that 70% of the milk produced in Vermont is made into cheese. And what's counted and what's not counted.
Keep working on it.
I mean, if you go down the interstate, there's just truckloads of tankers of milk going out of the state every single day. So that's not processed in the state. So I just think that,
A lot of that's going to bottlers in southern New England.
It just seems like a manipulation of the numbers.
well, it's just that I think that the word the semantics was wrong on that.
70% of the smokes.
Okay, anything else before we adjourn? Thank you all. It's been a wonderful meeting. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful spring and summer, and hopefully it's really boring on the other side. You've been 3 years of really difficult years for you all, so hopefully things will cooperate for you all.
So would you say it was a bad meeting or a wonderful meeting? Yeah, but you didn't say that.
Oh.
So you're gonna put out a survey to find out the date for the fall meeting?
Yeah, we need to, yeah.